I have another crazy question, Dr. K. I ate raw bean sprouts not knowing it was illegal in pregnancy. Do I need to worry about salmonella or Ecoli or anything hurting the baby?
I am not concerned regarding raw bean sprouts as long as they are washed.
They were from a Thai restaurant. So I'm not sure, but I hope so.
Ecoli, for example, is a contaminant.
Yeah, I was more worried about salmonella even because apparently that can cross the bloodstream or something like that. It was 3 days ago that I ate them, so I think I'm out of the clear unless it's typhoid, but I understand that is very rare in the US, so.
I think those infections are very unlikely, especially if the bean sprouts were washed. And it's 3 days, so you are in the clear. I would not even imagine you would get typhoid.
That would be pretty unlikely, I would guess. I assume the restaurant washed it. Curse you, Thai salad roll. So should I not worry anymore, do you think? I mean, surely your patients eat runny eggs and bean sprouts not knowing it's bad sometimes.
I would not worry as you are not sick, you really cannot avoid everything. Illness from bean sprouts, while possible, is rare at best.
Okay, cool. I'm starting to get a bit nervous about Europe as I understand toxoplasmosis is much more common there. My sister-in-law said they test pregnant women monthly for it. Any advice there?
Well, they do worse than that. Remember, there are pregnant women in Europe too. Don't eat fruit or veggies with the skin on. Remember that toho is from feces from an infected animal that contaminates that outside of the food. So you can't just pick up a piece of fruit off a cart and eat it.
So basically make sure anything I eat is either cooked or peeled?
Or washed by you if it's fresh.
Yeah, I will definitely wash everything. Hopefully that would destroy it. Even if I got E. coli or salmonella, how likely is it that it would harm the baby?
Unlikely, as it's usually a GI illness. So try not to worry the whole time.
Okay, cool. I will do my best. Is it pretty common, you think, to accidentally eat something you're not supposed to?
Actually, I bet most women never think about it. Smile.
Gotcha. That's good to know. I like to do reality testing and be like, would a rational person worry about this? If the answer is no, I try not to worry. Well, that's all my questions for today, I think. Are you and Alex well?
Yes, thanks, headed out for a walk. Have a great trip.
Thanks, see ya.
Thank you.
Hey Dr. K, I continue to be worried about this after I found out they can also cause listeria. I understand those symptoms are really mild, even asymptomatic, and can take up to 2 months or even longer to appear. I'm worried because I am having some nausea and fatigue and think, what if this is due to some listeria thing? That said, the symptoms are so vague as to make me wonder if I am conjuring them myself out of anxiety. What do you think I should do? I called my doctor, and the medical assistant who staffed the call basically said that listeria was really rare and she didn't think one incident of eating bean sprouts was likely to be a problem. But I'm worried that if I don't get tested for it and the baby dies from it, I'll never forgive myself. I can't tell what the logical course of action is because my anxiety is causing me so much illogical thinking. Can you help me think this through?
Well, you really can get listeria or Ecoli from many things. This is not a current cause of concern. In other words, there are no current listeria outbreaks from raw bean sprouts. I would not offer testing and would try to encourage you not to worry.
Apparently bean sprouts are more commonly sources of bacteria because of the way they are grown, which is why we are advised to avoid them. But I have found that my cousin who is pregnant eats them on sandwiches all the time, and I've found other people who have frequently eaten raw bean sprouts in pregnancy not knowing they are bad. In other words, how unlikely do you think it is that I could have a problem from this? I've found stats that say it occurs in 12 out of 100,000 pregnant women, obviously, very unlikely, but that frequently women may not know they had it. In your practice, do you think pregnant women eat things that are high risk for listeria foods all the time unknowingly and rarely have unexplained late pregnancy losses? Basically, am I just being totally crazy and should ignore the whole thing? I'm leaving for my trip in 2 days and really want to enjoy it. I just want to be happy and carefree and excited about my little girl. Basically, am I just being totally crazy and should ignore the whole thing? I'm leaving for my trip in 2 days and really want to enjoy it. I just want to be happy and carefree and excited about my little girl.
Yay, ignore it. We have no current listeria outbreaks. To be honest, I have worked for the last few years in underserved areas taking care of patients who do not have much. Nobody has ever gotten listeria. It is very rare. You should have a great trip.
Apparently it's only diagnosed in 0.012% of pregnant women. Let's say that it's 10x more common than is actually diagnosed. That brings us to still 0.1%. So I don't need to worry, I am sure. I am just so angry at myself for eating them. Do pregnant women mess up and eat things like this often? Or did I make a really stupid mistake?
To be honest, I have not seen a single case of listeria in my 21 years of practice. And I also ate bean sprouts off the salad bar with all 3 of my pregnancies. We didn't know about any of that back then. Believe me, most pregnant women would pat themselves on the back for being healthy and eating bean sprouts. I don't think it's a widely published fact and it's not well known.
That's what my mom says, about having way less information back then. All I can think of is, well, you probably had more unexplained late pregnancy losses back then too, Mom. But if you've never seen listeria in 21 years as a professional, that has to be good. And you don't see many unexplained second try or later losses either, right?
No, have not seen listeria. Yes, I have seen second trimester losses, very few that are unexplained. It's not something that I worry about for my patients.
Okay. So that means the great majority of second try losses are explained, and none of them are explained by listeria. 21 years is a good sample size, so I'm happy to hear that. Thank you, Dr. K. I feel better about it.
Yay, most second TM losses are things like chromosomal issues, incompetent cervix, abruption, infection. More common things.
If you have a health question and want to chat with a doctor now, visit justanswer.com/ythealth.